it comes to epic throwdowns, ain't no series slaying it harder than the Fate series. This anime's got it all. Sick animation, characters you won't forget, and tracks that'll make your ears tingle. It's like a feast for your eyes and a jam session for your ears. Number 10. Rin vs Sakura. Rin is one of the most notorious characters in the series. She is one of the 3 main heroines in the series, while Sakura is her biological sister. Just like Chain Soldier, we get to see 2 sisters going up against each other to make the other one kneel. However, only Sakura had the real intention of killing her sisters, but Rin had some other plans. The fight starts, and Sakura uses her abilities to cast the shadowy figure, but Rin, well, she is just a badass in this fight. She pulls up her knife, and boy, she fought brutally. She killed every single enemy and even those cute bunnies. The lightning along with the animation was a masterpiece, and the track, well, it was just a cherry on the top. This was a crucial bonding moment between the 2 sisters as Rin hugs Sakura. This was important in the sense that this helped Sakura to detach from the anger menu. Number 9. Quetzalcoatl's Everyone. Who is our favorite goddess when it comes to curves and beauty? Well, that's right. It's Quetzalcoatl. Quetzal is one of the strongest goddess when it comes to fighting a single enemy or a bunch of them. That's what we see here in the fight when Quetzal goes up against everyone. This fight was more like a cinematic masterpiece as we get a closer look of how strong Quetzal really is. She uses her bare hands to fight of all the servants, and even with the combined efforts of Anna, Mash, Merlin, and Jaguar Man, Quetzal was occupied for only 2 minutes before finishing off the little bastards. The choreography of this fight is pretty iconic as we see ground-shattering and air-bending fights. Multiple camera angles make it more engaging for the audience, and the raw power of Quetzalcoatl is very rare in the Fate series. As a god that had multiple dominions over different phenomenon, Quetzalcoatl possessed many abilities as well as authorities. However, this fight showed us that without even using a single ounce of her goddess strength, she is adaptable in physical strength as well. Number 8. Lancer vs Assassin. Lancer is probably my most favorite servant in the whole series, and this scene of Lancer chasing the assassin is just so unique. Lancer is the son of Lu, who possessed every ability like knowledge, techniques, and magic, and so does Lancer, but there's a significant increase in his native Ireland. In typical Anon chase scenes, we a whole bunch of blurry images and some shootings going on here and there, but this particular scene is impressive due to the studio's unique combination of CGI and 2D anim. The chase goes through a whole city, jumping from the roofs like in the game Assassin's Creed, and finally, goes into the lake. The main focus of this fight was particularly Assassin and not Lancer, but believe me when I say, Assassin delivered it perfectly. Despite having so much friction and resistance from Lancer, Assassin was able to capture the heart of Lancer and feed it to the Holy Grail. The scene and the whole chase was good as hell because we got to see some amazing camera angles, and the CGI that Ufotable is well versed in crafting along with the shocking 2D animation. The colors here will give you the vibe from the likes of Demon Slayer. Number 7. Saber vs Lancer. On number 7, we have Lancer vs Saber. As I just mentioned, Lancer has many fights throughout the series, and this fight is more than just a battle. In this fight, the strategy is what matters. If you have never watched the Fate series, you can still feel the tension and the battle that is going on. The idea of chivalry is prevalent, but opponents are skilled enough to anticipate each other's moves, and there is a subtle tension that keeps you wondering what will happen next. There are undoubtedly many fights that have the potential to be victorious, more cool animation and movements, but this one deserves a spot because of the way it deviates from a traditional fight scene and adds more strategy to it. Plus, this is just too flimsy flexing by Ufotable Studio, showing us who's the final boss of animation studios. Ufotable held back in this fight and didn't get much into details, but we know that there is no limit when Ufotable decides to go all in on animation. Number 6. Seg vs Karna. Are you ready to see the mother of all animations? Well, our number 6 spot has got you covered. This animation is surely the best from my point of view throughout the series. Instead of the typical fight scenes, this time we sing a battle royal. The servants are divided into black and red, and they are going all in for one, and one purpose only, the Holy Grail. Like other fights through the series, this fight will also determine the strongest of the strongest. but watching Sieg and Karna going up against each other was the real hype. Karna, despite being the favorite, had to suffer the fate of defeat because Sieg was just too powerful for him. The animation here was too phenomenal as well. You can clearly see that every inch is perfectly detailed, and the studio didn't left any gaps, and surprisingly, Ufotable didn't animate this yet it still lived up to our expectations. The lightning and the crazy panels were straight out of an action-packed movie. Although Sei is the winner here, Karna's determination was also worth noting in this fight. Number 5. Kiritsugu's Kaire. Kiritsugu's Kaire is a fight which is one of a kind. The two go in all on each other, and the most interesting thing about this fight is that there's literally no conversations. The two doesn't exchange any kind words, dramatic lines, or even beg for mercy. These two supernatural humans just wanted to kill each other. Because he believes that the goals must justify the methods, Kiritsugu is willing to commit any act of cruelty in order to win the war and put an end to suffering on Earth. Kurekotomin, on the other hand, is at the beginning of the story with no clear direction. Despite being a devoted Christian and a competent agent, he has no genuine desire for the Holy Grail. Given that both fighters are masters and not servants, it is noteworthy that this conflict is as crucial as it is. Similar to a chess player's opening move, Kiritsugu makes a bold move, but is soon forced to acknowledge Kuri's superior power. Number 4. Shiru's Berserker. Moving up on the list, we have Shiru's Berserker. Berserker is only holy Greek giants that can piss off anyone with his feats. Basically, he's the Hulk of Fate series and also the only person to complete the all 9 tasks of Hercules. But how did a mere human like Shiru end up defeating such a giant behemoth? Well, thanks to the power of friendship, he ended Berserker in just a single strike. Just kidding, Shiru actually uses the 9 blades of heaven to get himself beyond limits. This boost gave a hell of character development, and just like Uncle Ben said, with great character development comes great power. So, Shiru got the ultimate fighting abilities, and this was the second fight of Berserker in the Heaven's Field, and he got defeated yet another time. Maybe his luck wasn't just woking. However, thanks to a huge budget of the Ufotable studio, we get to some iconic fight and animation. The jump from the skies is mostly what every otaku loves. Shiru summons a giant blade in his hand and bursts open Berserker in just a single hit. Number 3. Archer vs Lancer. Archer and Lancer both are the badass of the Fate series, but Archer is not a true heroic spirit. He is actually our main protagonist just from another timeline. He serves to the Holy Grail to end up anything that stands or poses a threat to the universe, and that's when he finds Lancer. For a non-anime or manga fan, this is a fight between a bowman and a man with lance, but boy, those people are mistaken. This fight brings the joy to the table as the two go up against each other. Archer and Lancer are almost at the same power level, but Lancer is the true winner here. The animation is just a chef's kiss as the studio went all in for this fight. This included some of the most iconic shots of the whole series, and personally, this fight was beyond what anyone could expect. The lights, the colors, the charisma, and the whole atmosphere was just perfect. In the end, both creatures used their ultimate final blow to end up each other, but who won the fight? Well, Lancer pierces through Archer's heart with a spear, but he gets summoned again, so it's pretty much a drawy guess. Number 2. Saber Alter's Berserker. Saber is a whole badass woman when she was a noble servant, but her alter form, well, you can only pray that she doesn't hurt you. In Heaven's Fall second movies, we see Saber Alter's Berserker. Saber is too overpowered in this case, who goes all in to shatter Berserker into pieces. And Berserker, well, we already know who he is. The only person who takes on all the heavy lifting and still gets back on his feet, but not this time. Thanks to Ufotable Studio, we got this GOAT animated fight in the whole Fate series. Number 1. Saber Alter vs Rider. This right here is what the money become worth it. The Fate series and fights can go back to 15 years, but this fight is the one that can make you fall in love with anime. The Ufotable studio made the final climax worth the money. It was a bit tragic to see Saber as the final villain, but Shiru and Rider's team up was more exciting. The two team up to kill Saber Alter, and there are different phantasms going on in the fight, but every character gets their moment to shine bright. If you talk about animation and camera angle, I challenge you to show a better animated fight scene than this. Mixed with the charismatic blend of CGI, Ufotable did the unthinkable and made this fight the best one I had ever seen. The background music and the camera angles were just classic.